Best scene of Accidental Angel. Interior, a hospital room, day. Daniel gasps as he wakes into consciousness, his head bandaged and he is groggy. Riona is standing beside him. The TV is on.
Death toll at the recent Soho bombing has risen to 21. Another 35 people at different states of injury are still hospitalized. The Prime Minister...
Riona notices Daniel has woke up, and she mutes the TV.
Slowly, you've been out for almost 2 days.
Daniel feels his throat and clears it.
Where's my mum?
Riona hands him a glass of water.
She popped out to sign your release forms. How you feeling?
Daniel gulps the water.
It's ringing like bleeding church bells on fucking Jubilee Day.
Cranky much?
Daniel looks at Riona apologetically.
I'm not cranky. Just a bit grumpy.
They laugh.
Ow! My head hurts.
Yeah, well, you banged your noggin pretty hard on the floor.
Hang on. You're not hospitalized or something.
Ain't you a bowl full of Cheerios?
Daniel is silent.
Who was in the loo? Don't you remember?
Daniel's at a loss.
The shockwave only shattered the bar's front windows. Whoever was at the bar, or the loo for that matter, didn't even get scratched. Only folks who were at the front.
Riona stops abruptly and frowns. She opens her mouth to speak, but Daniel cuts her off.
I know the truth about my birth.
Riona looks puzzled as Daniel pats the edge of his bed and beckons Riona to sit down. Riona sits down and Daniel moves closer to her. He checks to see that nobody is coming.
Last night I found the news article about me at the maternity ward.
But
Daniel signals to Riona to keep it quiet.
I had surgery done a week after I was born.
Riona opens her mouth, but Molly enters the room.
Daniel, you're up.
Molly rushes to Daniel's bedside and leans to kiss him on his forehead.
Mum!
I see he's back to normal.
pretty much, Mrs. Whitecrest.
Riona takes the empty glass of water from Daniel.
If you need help, and you probably will, don't hesitate to call me, right?
Riona exits the room.
Yeah, well, thanks for the support, Riona Budek.
Give her a break. She did stay by your bed all night, you know.
Daniel is silent.
Let's get you home. You can rest better in your own bed and I can make you some proper cocoa, okay?
Exterior, Whitecrest's home, later. A car pulls into the driveway. Molly steps out, goes to the passenger side, and opens the door for Daniel. Daniel gets out of the car and shuffles his way towards the house. Interior kitchen, continuous. Molly and Daniel enter the kitchen, and immediately Molly starts bustling around. She pulls out a small saucepan and ingredients for the cocoa from a cupboard.
You just sit down and I'll make you some hot cocoa, and then you can have a good rest if you like.
Molly turns her back to Daniel and starts to prepare the cocoa. Daniel, teeth clenching, stares at his mum from across the kitchen table.
And don't you worry about school. For the time being, the school is closed. 2 of the faculty members are still missing.
Molly turns to look at him. Her expression becomes clouded. She turns back to the cocoa.
They think they might be among the casualties from that bombing.
Daniel's face bubbles with anger.
Oh, and I've called Mr. Emery's.
Why didn't you tell me about my surgery?
Molly stops stirring the cocoa.
What surgery? You only suffered a hard bump on your pretty head. There was
It meant
no...
when I was born.
Honey, you're just feeling a bit traumatic right now. Thank God nothing worse happened. And I just...
Daniel raises his voice
I
slightly.
saw the article.
What article?
The one that's hanging at St. Mark's maternity ward.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
A baby born with wing stumps.
Daniel is livid.
And a photo of you and Dad holding me.
Molly turns to face her son, her eyes full of fear.
I asked you again and again and again, why do I have those scars?
Finally, Molly loses her composure.
It wasn't you!
Molly is taken aback by her loss of temper.
It wasn't you. There was some other poor baby, and your father and I... we
You
just...
told me my dad left before I was born.
A tense silence follows. Daniel is fuming. Molly turns back to the cocoa. Loud clamoring of kitchen utensils fill the room. She turns to Daniel. Her everlasting sweet mannerism gone.
Honestly, you have such a lively imagination. Now why don't you sit down and drink your cocoa?
As Molly puts the cup down, Daniel slams it off the table.
Enough already. I'm not a child anymore.
Daniel storms out of the kitchen. Molly slumps into a kitchen chair and breaks into tears. Daniel's bedroom door is heard being slammed.